Hello friends, they call me Duct Tape, and we're working on this beautiful 1986 Buick Grand National. It's been sitting around for 22 years now that I've owned it, and it sat around before that. So we're in the process of replacing the entire braking system. We're going to go through the engine, we're going through the interior, a lot of work going on. And the reason we're doing this is because the wife and I are going to take this car on the Hot Rod Power Tour this year, 2024, depending on when you're watching it. And we're super excited, but she needs a little attention. So today we're going to be doing the stabilizer bar links. So come along for the ride. I'm sure it's going to be difficult. Most things are difficult. So I'm not a mechanic. I just kind of figure it out as I go. I've done these before, and every single time I've ever done them on any car, they've always been a pain. And I'm sure today will be no different. So, hey, come along for the ride, and here we go. Sway bar links. Let's get these put in while we're waiting on the paint to dry. These aren't cheap either. These things are 20 bucks a side. I couldn't believe it. Back in the day, they were like $5 for both of them. Oh well. Well, friends, you know the deal. Every job's got to start somewhere. Yep, you got it. And this one starts here. Now, friends, you'll take notice that I didn't even bother undoing that nut. There's just no way. She is way too rotten. There you go. She's cut in half. So just get a screwdriver and hammer and get that thing taken off there. Now seriously, taking bets. Who would have thought it would have been that easy? Okay, friends, this is what the problem is here. If you look really close, there's actually a bolt inside of a sleeve. And over the years, it is just rusted solid. So after cutting on one end, then the other end, then back on the other end, then back on the other end, and cutting them in half and everything else that I wound up having to do. This is the bottom part. You see the rust built up in there so much. Isn't that crazy? Man. That's alright, we got them nasty old things off of there. This is where they go. This is a sway bar. It links between your driver's side and your passenger side front lower control arms. And what it does is if you dive into a turn, This takes some of the pressure off of the side you're turning on and helps keep that wheel from going all the way up in the wheel well. And the sway bar link goes between here and here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these up, and then we'll get that new sway bar link in after we get the other side out, because it's a real pain in the brain if you have one new side in already. It's just easier to start them both and then bolt them both at the same, together. So, all right, I'll get back with you on that. That's where that little guy went. I knew we were missing a piece. Here's the rest of it. Super rusty and nasty. Just get rid of that. Pull this off and clean it up. There's more. Once again, some old rust fix. Just trying to do what we can, friends. Just trying to do what we can. All right, we're going to let that dry up. We'll give her a quick paint, and we'll get back to putting it together. Okay, friends, I'm going to give you a little demonstration of how these are put together. So you have your lower control arm and your sway bar link that goes up here, okay? It's pretty simple. Basically, you take a washer, put a washer on, and if you look at these grommets, you'll see there's like a fat end and a skinny end. It's just like your shocks, okay? So you want your skinny end to go in your lower control arm. So you have your washer, put your end in like so, okay? And then you have your one that goes on top. Now you have your thing there, and you also have the skinny end here, and you put these together so that they stay in the hole in the lower control arm, okay? So this goes in, here's your lower control arm right here, and then you take this part, you put it on right there, and it sandwiches in between the lower control arm right here. You take your washer, stick it on there like that. So this is sandwiched in between your lower control arm, just sticking up. You take this spacer, put your spacer on, put your washer on. Same thing. This goes through your sway bar link, right? So you stick that on there. Just like that. So it goes up in the hole. Stick that on there. Stick another washer on. And then you put your bolt on, just like so. So that's what it looks like without it being in the car. You got your lower control arm and your sway bar link right here, and it holds them together. Okay? And when you're just driving down a flat road, both of your lower control arms are doing the same thing. And your sway bar link's doing the same thing, moving up and down. But if you hit a bump or take a turn, your car leans to one side. Well, it leans on this side, and your sway bar link keeps it from swaying as much. Okay, it gives you more control in turns. So that's just a quick little tutorial about how these things work. Mine still worked, but the rubber was all cracked up and bad. And really, being 38 years old, it's not a bad. I mean, $40, change these out. Make your car handle like new. This is one of the things that goes bad on cars that don't get changed, and then they're sloppy driving, and people are wondering why. Well, here's just a quick little fix. And other than being a pain in the brain to get off of there because they rust, the bolt rusts inside this sleeve right here, and that's the problem I had. So I had to grind them out, and cut them out. But other than that, it's a vital part of your steering. So if you're having a lot of steering issues, you might look at your sway bar links, because I'm pretty sure almost all cars have them. So there you go. I'll show it how you looks. I'll show you how it looks when I get them put in there. All right. Okay, friends, this one's decided to be a little difficult, and I know it's a little dark. We're just gonna have to there she went. Okay, here's the bottom. Here's the top. All right. Okay, friends, that thing's finally off of there. You see how it's just rusted to death? The rust inside that spacer, like I was showing you earlier. I told you how they rusted out. And you can see these rubbers are just gone. We definitely needed to replace these. Let's see here, we'll get rid of that. There's the top, that stubborn bugger. You look at him. I'll get rid of him. There's a lot of grease globs in there too. Wasn't prepared for those. All right. Have figured me out by now. You know, I like to use the good old rust fix. I don't know if it really fixes anything, but we'll put it on there. Little preventive maintenance. All right, we're gonna let that dry, then we'll put the new ones on. Maybe I'll dig some of that grease out of there. Gee whiz, look at there. Okay. Okay, friends. These are usually super simple and super difficult at the same time. So, let's see if we can get this done without shedding any blood. All right, we got that part. Not time to party just yet, though. All right. Need a washer. We're belling it like that. Okay. We need our spacer. We need another washer. This is usually the part where it gets a little tricky. Well, okay. So this side's going to play nice this time. Ugh. All right. Oh boy, I've done these so many times, and it's one or the other. It's either oh, well, that'll help. I'll try to hold it all together. Oops, thinking wrong, getting in too big a hurry. Let's see here. All right, we've got that. Now we got to figure out how to squeeze it together so we can put the rest of it together. I have an idea. Well, friends, it was a simple idea, and it may have worked. All I did was push down on the other side. Not quite enough, though, yet. Let's see what else we got. Well, friends, I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see here. What would be the best way to hook this up? There. This is just the first one. Wait till we get to the second one. And that is not going to work, because this one has too much tail feather on it. Let's try that. See if that gets us where we want to be. Oh, friends, sometimes I fight with the weirdest things. And other times, the things you think you're going to fight with turn out to be pretty easy. I like those days better. Of course, everything's twisted upside down here. Please make sure to not cooperate at all. We just need to be able to get our bolt on there. Nothing, really? All that messing around. We get nothing? It feels like it wants to snap in my face. Okay, maybe I have another idea. So we'll strike out on that one. Now that I'm thinking about it, this next idea is probably the one I should have started out with. All right, 1 second. Now I'm just curious of how many of you heard this jack rolling across the floor and said, yep, I know what he's up to. Or then there's the rest of you that said, why didn't that big dummy do that to begin with? Well, I am of the mind that I guess I just have to figure things out myself. Well, looks like that might be the ticket. You guys were watching, was that at least 2 or 3 inches? Oh, I think I hope. Come on, feller. That's the part where we cooperate. Darn it. You know, I've done this before, and I'll tell you the way I did it. Is I took this out, stuck that on there. And I know this is cheating, but it's okay. It's early enough we can get away with a little cheating. Use this, pull it together, let it off, and then put that last bushing in. Not a bad idea, huh? Of course, I have no clue where that bolt is in there. Probably right there. Probably not right there. Oh. All right. So. Well, there you go, friends. That's what we needed. Just had to figure out how to get it there. All right. All right. Step 1. Step 2. All right, there's one. A little bit of creativity. Now we have the other side. Hello, friends. Okay. Let me show you here. So this thing right here is the sway bar. Okay. This is the sway bar link we just put in. And if you'll notice real close, see if I can get you in there. This sway bar, right, the cobwebs, gee whiz, you can clean them out. The sway bar goes all the way across over there, and it links up to the other side exactly like it does here. So the two sides, the two front wheels kind of work in conjunction with one another. And that's how a sway bar works. So when you put pressure on one side, it relieves some of that pressure onto the other side of the car, which, you know, you can corner a little faster and all that. All right, so let's get to the other side. Okay, friends, let's see if this side can go a little easier than the other side. This was supposed to be a quick little easy job while we're waiting on the brake parts to dry. As it turns out, it's been most of my afternoon. But that's all right. Okay, so we know the drill by now. Have the bolt, washer, with the little ridge side up. All right, this one we want the ridge side down. Remember, to see how big that hole is right there? That's what these ridges do. They stick in the hole together, and that's what holds it in place. Got a washer, just like putting a little old puzzle together. Except it's a puzzle that can give you a headache if you let it. You know how those easy little jobs are. Boy, I'm here to tell you. And then if you notice, the hole in our sway bar is bigger. Well, it doesn't want to cooperate now. Same thing as the bottom, basically. It's a lot. There's a lot of room, and that's what that little ridge holds together. So now we have to figure out how to get that to go under that. So you just hang out. All right. I think I have a plan. Give me 1 second. So what I did, friends, is I made us this little wooden thing. I put a notch in it, and I'm hoping that maybe, well, number one, I'm hoping that it'll work. You really want it to be nice and straight. This is kind of a shady deal here, but now it doesn't want to go in the notch. Why would it want to go in the notch? It'd be too much like the right thing to do. Move everything out of the way. Now I'm only lifting on the sway bar with the floor jack here. Hopefully, just enough to where we can get it put together. Hopefully that's enough. And I don't think this time we're going to have the issue we did on the other side. Let's see here. is that sometimes in times of adversity you need a little creativity. I think that's the right saying, I'm not sure. But I've always got a little scrap piece of wood around here. Alright, now we have that. Once again, that side down now. Now I'm going to let this floor jack down and see what happens. Okay, what happened? You guys could see, I couldn't. Of course, now it's at a severe angle. All right. But we have a little bit of hammerage here. What just happened? All right. Thank you for your service, Mr. Jack. We are done with you for now. Oh, friends, we are so close. It's just the angles of everything. If it was set in there nice and straight, look at that. Doesn't that figure? Oh my gosh. All right. Now I think we're actually going to have to put some pressure on the lower control arm. Give me just a second. All right, friends, I think we're going to get there today. And I'm sure there's at least 10 of you going, "You're doing it the wrong way." Yeah, that's possible. But I'm trying to do it. Oh, with that. Okay. Now we got to find that washer. Because it decided to do a swan dive. Where you at, little buddy? Oh, there you are. Oh, we just need a little bit of thread. Come on, friend.